And welcome back, everybody, to another episode of MLB DFS Quick Hits, your Tuesday, August 31st edition. Hope everybody had a great Monday. It was a wild one, as expected. All the runs in New York and Anaheim. The Jays, Vladito went off. We had so much fun. The Padres and D-backs got aggressive. Really good stuff. The little cheap Ranger stack went well. So hope you guys had some success. Really good evening overall. And we have 14 games for you on a Tuesday. So let's get cracking on that thing. Couple little housekeeping notes here. Check myself out on Twitter at BDentric. Give me a follow there. I can help you out. Or join us in the free Fantasy DJ and Slack chat with your questions there. Also, go check out RotoBaller.com. I do my DFS content over there Monday through Friday. Tuesdays and Thursdays, the free DFS DraftKings article. But football season is right around the corner, guys. And they have the draft kit. They have the premium tools for season long and DFS. And it all comes a part of one big NFL package. And right now it's 50% off. Plus, if you use promo code Bubba, B-U-B-B-A, you get another 10% off. So for you keeping track at home, that's 60% off the regular price of the NFL premium package at rotoballer.com. So go check that out with all the fun stuff for the entire season for DFS and season-long football content. Promo code Bubba gets you an extra 10% off of the already 50% off package. Also, go check out prizepicks.com. It's a great way to play DFS meets prop bets. Pick anywhere from 2 to 5 picks, all sports. You can combine them. They have it all. Great stuff there. When you create your account at PrizePicks, use promo code Bubba, B-U-B-B-A, for a first-time deposit bonus up to $100. So go check out PrizePicks.com. Highly recommend it there as well. Give a rate and review on iTunes for your MLB DFS Quick Hits. I would appreciate it. And go check out Bench with Bubba for your season-long MLB needs. Bubba and the Bat Flip episode 94 recorded on Monday night this week, a night early, recapping the weekend fab. So go check that out as well. All right, 14-game slate on tap. Let's get cracking on this one. Pitching on this slate, Walker Buehler is 10-5. At home against the Atlanta Braves, he is the best pitcher on the slate. Buehler's a 20-plus point machine. He has got 20 or more points in 8 of his last 9 games, and the one he didn't, he had 17. He has been nothing but great. The Braves can hit. I'm not going to deny that. They're very, very good. They could be contrarian, but they're also the Braves, and they're facing Walker Buehler. They strike out 23% of the time versus righties in the month of August, hitting .249 with a 103 WRC+. So good offense. Walker Buehler, better pitcher. Give me Walker Buehler at 10-5 on this one. You got Lance McCullers at 10-1 at the Seattle Mariners. If you want to go against Seattle, you can. They strike out 25% of the time versus righties, hitting .222 with a 94 WRC+. So McCullers could be that nice contrarian pivot off of Walker Buehler at 10-1. No problem with that at all. I think on FanDuel he's 92. I think it's a great price on FanDuel. McCullers on FanDuel is a great price at $9,200. But 10-1 on DK, great pivot off of Buehler. I still prefer Walker Buehler on this slate, but no problem going to McCullers if you want. Honestly, if you're not going Walker Buehler, I'd almost go down to Brandon Woodruff at 94, who has been pitching really, really well. Even against the Giants 4 starts ago, 6 innings, 108 Ks for 23 points. He had a couple hiccups after that, and then he pitched great against Cincinnati. Those 2 hiccups were on the road, where he still has a 2.67 ERA on the season. So I'm not going to read too much into that. I think Woodruff's a very intriguing play against this Giants team that can hit well. So it's tournament only, to say the least, because the Giants offense can be sneaky good. So if you want to go Woodruff at 94 in a tournament, I'm all aboard that train if you want to pivot off of Buehler. Still, Buehler is my top pay-up spot on this slate. So 9K and above, you have Buehler, McCullers, Woodruff. Buehler, far and away, cash game, tournament play. That's where I want to go. I think McCullers is a good pivot off of Buehler if you want to, or you can go to Woodruff. So I think they're both in play. I prefer Buehler over all 3 of them. Now, when you drop below 9K, though, you get some nice tournament options here. Charlie Morton at $8,900 at the Dodgers. No one likes to use pitching against the Dodgers, and all Morton does is put up nearly 20 points or more time and time again because of the strikeouts. He has 7 or more Ks in 4 straight starts. He has 5 or more Ks in 10 straight starts, and that's what gets the job done because he gives up 3 runs or less in most starts and gets a bunch of strikeouts, goes 5-6 innings, gets the job done in that regard. It is the Dodgers who are striking out almost 24.5% of the time versus righties in the month of August, hitting .232 with a 101 WRC+. They had about 3 or 4 home runs on Monday. Maybe they're waking up a little bit. Then again, it was our good boy Drew Smiley. So we'll see how that one goes. But I think Morton can be a nice contrarian DFS play against the Dodgers on this one. Lucas Giolito is going to be extremely popular at $8,800. I think he makes a great cash game play. If you want to pair him with Walker Buehler, I think it's very much in play. If you want to use him in tournaments, you can. Just know he's going to be super, super popular on the slate because he gets the Pittsburgh Pirates. And, Gio's been really rocky up and down, but still, 20 or more points in 3 of his last 4 starts. He's gone 6 or more in 3 of his last 4, 2 runs or less in 4 straight. And he has 6 or more Ks in 4 straight starts. So the strikeouts have been there. The overall production has been there for Gio. And he's facing a Pirates team that strikes out 25% of the time versus righties, hitting .208 with a 109 ISO and a 63 WRC plus versus right-handed pitching. Like the price tag that DK gave Giolito was just dumb. Like it's asking everybody to play him. So maybe the Pirates go off. Maybe they're the contrarian stack you main. If you're in like a 3-max or a single entry, I wouldn't worry about it. But if you're in 20-max or above, get some Pirates exposure because Gio's going to be extremely popular on this slate. He's a great play. Him and Buehler should be your cash game targets. No problem with Gio at all. Now it gets fun. Like Hunting Ryu, okay, I could see it versus Baltimore. I could also see stacking Baltimore. This is where it gets fun. For you regular listeners, please don't hang up. Don't stop listening, and please come back and listen later. But Blake Snell at $7,700 at the Arizona Diamondbacks, he's in play. Yep, that hurts to say. He's got basically 20 or more points in 4 of his last 5, basically 15 or more in 5 straight starts, 5 or more innings in 5 straight starts, 2 runs or less in 4 or 5, and he has 6 or more Ks in each start, 9 or more Ks in 3 of those 5, and that's the big thing. The strikeouts have been there for Snell. The duration, he's at least going 5, which is good. We've seen him go a little bit deeper at times, and he's facing a Diamondbacks team that, it's kind of heating up of late, but it's still the Diamondbacks. And they're striking out 21.5% of the time versus lefties. They are hitting 271 with a 99 WRC plus over the last month. So they got that going for them. But I think Snell at his price point in a tournament is in play. At the same time, would I give you a hard time for playing Carson Kelly and Christian Walker and Ketel Marte and company? No, not a chance at all. Like I will probably have some of them in my 3-max. Don't question that. But I think Blake Snell, like we talk about it in tournaments, he's only a tournament play because of the risk, because we could see Blake Snell get blown up like we've seen so many times. That's why he's a tournament play. But we're also seeing this 20-plus, 30-plus point potential right now, which you don't get very often in the 7K range and below. That's what makes it an elite tournament play, is that kind of upside. He should be popular because I think most people should be smart enough, or at least most providers that people pay for, unlike this, which is free, they should be able to tell you that as well. But I think Snell at 77 could be very, very much in play. Boomer bust. Like deep down inside, I've faded him all year, so I'm expecting, like the one time I used Andrew Heaney this year, I'm expecting Snell to get destroyed. But on paper, it's a phenomenal matchup against the D-backs where he should be able to deal, get you 6 to 10 strikeouts like he's been doing, get you 5 to 6 innings, and get you 20-plus DK points. That's what Blake Snell should be able to do, and that's what I'm banking on in this matchup at $7,700. Tariq Skubal at 74, great pivot off a very popular Snell. Skubal's been outstanding of late. He's gone 5 or more innings in 4 straight starts, a total of 4 earned runs overall in those 4 starts, and 6 or more Ks in 3 straight starts, putting up 20 or more DK points in 4 straight starts. Gets an Oakland Athletics team that has been scuffling, to say the least. They only strike out 15% of the time versus lefties. That's big. That's Skubal's big go-to is all the strikeouts. But they're hitting 258, 137 ISO, 104 WRC plus, so not the most potent of offenses, that's for sure. So Skubal at 74 is still an intriguing tournament play with the potential for the strikeouts he brings to the table. Other than that, the only other options we got here is what will be a very, very popular Edward Cabrera at $6,400, coming off kind of he pitched great in his debut against the Nationals, but only the 2 strikeouts kind of disappointed, and that kind of kept the DK scoring down. Big strikeout guy in the minors. He gets a New York Mets team that's in flux, the old thumbs down. They're striking out about 23.5% of the time versus righties, hitting 226 with an 85 WRC plus. So Cabrera at $6,400 is outstanding on this slate. And last but not least, if you want to get freaky on this slate, if you just want to get frisky, Jordan Lyles at home against the Road Rockies. Lyles is coming off a minus 7.8 performance, 25 prior to that, 8.7, minus 0.4, 5.6, 21. So you're catching where my theme is here. He's $5,200 for a reason, because he's bad. But he's put up 20 points in 2 of his last 5. He's got the 20-plus point potential. That's what we're looking for in tournaments with our punt plays. If you played Alexi on Monday at 4,700, he got you 20-plus points. And what did Delcy do? Get you all the bats you want. Could Alexi have fallen flat on his face? Absolutely. Could Jordan Lyles fall on his face? Yes, he probably will. That's what Jordan Lyles does. But 40% of his last 5 starts, he's gotten you 20-plus points. That's telling me we have a chance here at $5,200 against the Road Rockies. Again, a team we talked about in the month of August on the road. The quote-unquote Colorado Rockies, the Road Rockies, are striking out nearly 25% of the time with a 217 average, 112 ISO, and 67 WRC plus. So get yourself some Jordan Lyles if you're feeling frisky at $5,200. If he blows up, that's the price we pay. But it's a darn cheap price trying to do it. So recapping your pitching, Walker Buehler is elite, top of the mark here, followed by McCullers and Woodruff in the 9K and above range. In tournaments, Charlie Morton is a phenomenal tournament play against the Dodgers, a pretty much low ownership for all the strikeout upside. Gio at 88 is a great play. If you want to play him in tournaments, he's going to be popular. Great play. Great cash game pairing, Gio and Buehler. Phenomenal spot there. Blake Snell at 77, very much in play in tournaments. Tariq Skubal at 74, like him quite a bit as a pivot off of Snell. And then you got Edward Cabrera and Jordan Lyles. So lots to think about on this 14-game slate, including the bats on this slate. Starting out at the catcher's position, the red-hot Salvi Perez going up against Zach Plesac at 54, and Yasmani Grandal at 53. Grandal is actually in the better matchup of the two. Both phenomenal plays. Both they're going to be used in your stacks. If you're stacking Kansas City, if you're stacking the White Sox, both in play for you. But if you want to go cheaper on this slate, guys like Eric Haas at 48 versus Cole Irvin. Irvin does not strike out a lot of guys, lots of pitch to contact. Eric Haas likes him some lefty. If you're not using Blake Snell, Carson Kelly at 47 is great. No problem with that at all. So you got some pricey options up here. Kelly, Haas, Grandal, Salvi, all $4,700 and higher. You got Will Smith at 44 against Morton. If you're not using Morton, Morton will give up a home run or two. That's in the books. And Will Smith went deep again on Monday night. So he's 4,400 if you're feeling that one. Otherwise, let's go below the 4K range and see what else we can find here. If you're not using Tariq Skubal, Yan Gomes at 39 is interesting because Skubal, when he's off, does give up a lot of home runs. So that's something to keep in mind. With Yan Gomes at 39, Kyber Ruiz got the call. Keep an eye on him, as always, an intriguing option. But Pedro Severino, $3,400 versus a lefty, going up against Ryu. That's a very, very solid tournament play at 34 if you don't want to spend all the way up top. Going down to 3K and below now, you will have a few more options down here. You got guys like Riley Adams at 26. You know, Ruiz got the call, but with the lefty more on the mound, Adams should get the start. Maldonado at 26 is a good value as well. Austin Hedges, if he gets to start for Cleveland at 23, which he should because Ramos went to the IL with a torn ACL. So Hedges at 23 against Mike Minor is a very good value on the slate. So you're definitely have some catcher's values down here if you don't feel like paying up at the position. First base, you got Vladito coming off the double dong night, going with Keegan Aiken. Really good spot for him at 61. So that's fine. You got Nelly Cruz at 56. Crone keeps hitting. But Yuli Gurriel at 54 versus a lefty. Like that one quite a bit. If you are fading Cole Irvin, Jonathan Scope at 53 is in play for you. Going below 5K now. You got a few more, obviously, to look at. Josh Bell switch hitting versus Moore at 44. Definitely in play. Jared Walsh at 42. If you're stacking against Tyon, you want some Jared Walsh. Mountcastle, $3,900, went deep again on Monday. Became the third, and he's now in third place on the all-time rookie home run list for the O's, behind Eddie Murray, and I forget the second place man, and it's not Cal Ripken Jr. So Mountcastle at 39 is not a bad value play as well, as he's just stroking it, especially his first lefty, so he's in play. You go down cheaper, like Jesus Aguilar if you're stacking Miami, sure, but Miguel Sano at 36 is a great price tag. He is crushing the ball right now. Zach Davies is not good. If you're making a little Minnesota stack, I think Miguel Sano at 36 is very, very strong in that matchup. I'd love to see Luke Voit play. He's 34 versus Barria, but they keep screwing that one up, so keep an eye on that. Frank Schwindel is only 32 against our buddy Johnny Gant, so that's a very good value. If Ryan Zimmerman cracks the Washington lamp, he's had great success versus Moore in his career. He's only 3,100. Bobby Dahlback's only 31 versus the lefty Yarborough. Dahlback went deep on Monday. He'll be extremely popular versus Yarborough, who A, has not been good, plus he's a lefty. So Dahlback's going to be very, very popular. It's a very good spot. Very good spot if you want to save some cash. So lots of value at the first base position, as we can see. Nathaniel Lowe is 3K versus Gomber. That's another nice little value piece to the puzzle. Another one, first base, third base eligible. You got the lefty Minor on the bump. If you're stacking Cleveland, Yu Chang, we've talked about it before, first base, third base at 28 is not bad at all. If you are fading Gio, if you are getting some Pirates exposure, like we talked about, Yoshi Sasugo at 27 is a nice one to take a peek at as well. Andrew Vaughn's only 26, going up against Bryce Wilson. That's a strong value play also. So you got Christian Walker versus Blake Snell as another one. There's a ton of value at the first base position, but like $3,300 and below. Lots of it if you don't feel like paying up. Second base, you got Tuve versus Kikuchi. That's always fine. Marcus Semien against Aiken is a great play at 5,400. Brandon Lau took a righty and Pavetta deep on Monday. He gets a better righty in Richards on Tuesday to take deep. So really good spot at 5,200 as well. Gene Segura, if you're stacking Philadelphia, is only 49 versus Corbin. Jazz Chisholm at 48 is a great play versus Williams, Trevor Williams in that matchup. Don't mind that at all. Cheaper down, though. Merrifield's only 44 versus Plesac. That's like a great cash game play. There's probably going to be cheaper plays here, but Witt at only 44 is a really good look there versus Plesac. That's a discount, but an even bigger discount. Like I told you, there'd be cheaper ones. Jorge Polanco at 41. He's hitting everything, hitting the middle of the Minnesota lineup, gets Zach Davies. That's a great price tag. $4,100 for Polanco. It's really good for cash game plays and tournaments with Polanco. Going down to the low threes now. Maybe all the value might be at the first base. It looks like there's not a ton here at second right out the gate. Really, hopefully Andy Ibanez. Oh, they actually put him on the IL. I saw he was day-to-day this morning. They put him on the IL. Okay, well, that sucks. No Andy Ibanez. I've been running him out there like a bad man, but his replacement, here's your value if you're not using Jorge Polanco. Nick Solak, talked about him a ton on Monday's show. He went deep. He's up to 2,400. Dude is crushing it. He was in my values article at rotoballer.com. I got a couple more home runs out of the values article. It's kind of a trend these days. So that was a fun one. But Nick Solak is a nice discount at 2,400. Third base position, you got J-Ram at 62. Devers, your elite plays are elite for a reason. But Bregman at 51, a little cheaper, obviously. Nice little look there going up against Kikuchi. Candelario switch hitting versus Irvin at 47. Patrick Wisdom's hitting everybody right now, so why not hit John Gant at $4,700? So if you're stacking the Cubs, Wisdom's a nice look there as well at 47 hundo. Some other options, though, you got Moncada if you're stacking the White Sox. There's other pieces of the White Sox I like more, but you can definitely go him. I love the value on Donaldson at 39 versus Davies. Donaldson hitting 324 over his last 10 games. He had 21 points. He's got 12 or more in 3 of his last 4. 5, 6, 7. He's got 12 or more in 7 of his last 9 games. He's still $3,900 against Zach Davies. That's why I mentioned Sano. I mentioned Polanco. I mentioned Donaldson. All really 36, 41, 39. That is a very cheap stack. I got some other guys to talk about from Minnesota later. So Minnesota, Chicago could be a nice game stack for us to take a peek at. Mid 3Ks and below at third base. Not a ton. It's been a very top-heavy position of late. Ramon Urias, third base shortstop eligible at 3K against Ryu. You could look there if you want, but for the most part, I'm paying at least the 4K range and above when it comes to third base. The other one would be Yu Chang, who we talked about earlier for Cleveland. He's first base, third base eligible. Shortstop, Bogarts at 58. Trevor Story double donged on Monday, and he's not in Coors Field against a lefty. He's 57. Bichette at 53 against Aiken is great. Wander Franco extended his on-base streak at 52. That's like cash game stuff right there. You love to see that. So those are some good looks for you there. Going below 5K, Chisholm, talked about him. He's in play if you're playing Miami. Other than that, you're going to drop down here at shortstop quite a bit. Cronenworth at 4K is not a bad value versus Zach Gallen. I like Gallen, though, so I'm not running to do that. Luis Urias probably starting for Milwaukee. He's third base shortstop eligible at 34 versus Quintana in the bullpen. So that can be a look for you as well. Nicky Lopez at only 31 is a great value. He's cash game worthy against Plesac at $3,100. That's a good play. If you're not using Blake Snell, Nick Ahmed at 29 loves hitting lefties, usually hits off versus lefties. So $2,900 there versus Snell is a very, very good price tag as well. Head into the outfield on a 14-game slate. So who's not in play? Be a quicker list. But Tatis is great at 62. Harper, they both went deep. Love Soto on this slate at 6K. Starting Marte is not too shabby as usual, but like Judge at 55. If Barria is starting for the Angels, the Yankees, big boys are in play. But Franmil Reyes at 54 versus Mike Minor. Put it on the board, folks. Ding Dong City for the Franimal at 54 hundo. Like that one quite a bit. Ketel Marte coming off the granny. Again, if you're not starting Snell, some Ketel Marte in your life. Not too shabby, but Ced Mullins at 49 versus Ryu. Eloy Jimenez at 48 is a great price. He should be higher up, and he should be priced higher on this slate against Bryce Wilson. So that's a value. George Springer returned to the lineup on Monday. He's leading off again at 48 hundo. Giancarlo went deep again on Monday. The home run call went good there. No problem going back to him for another $4,800 on this slate versus Barria. I mentioned Patrick Wisdom. You got T. Oscar in a great spot at 46 versus Aiken. Ian Happ is swinging it while he's 45 versus Gant. That's not a bad little tournament action for you there. Got a Rosarena in a great spot versus Richards. Lou Bob's only 42. That's way too cheap. He's swinging great, hitting towards the top of the order. Get your Lou Bob on at 42. That's way too cheap on this slate. If you're stacking Minnesota, you could go to Max Kepler. That's not one of the ones I wanted to mention. You could, though, at 41 if you want to get goofy with your stacks. Josh Rojas at 4K versus Snell's okay, but Lourdes Gurriel was first base outfield eligible the other day. Now he's back to just outfield. He's 4K. That's not too shabby. Trent Grisham at 39 for some value if you want. 3Ks and below range. You got your Nemos, your Vertugos if you want. You can. I'm not too overexcited about that. So this 3K is not too great until you get farther down. Anthony Santander is up to 35, switch hitting versus Ryu. That's very solid. I like that one. Adelise Garcia at 35 is a nice tournament play versus Gomber. Not too shabby there. more plays as you drop down. Remember when Cody Bellinger hit for like 4 days and everyone was over the moon about him? Yeah, he sucks again. So there you go on that one. Cheaper plays for you. Buxton's up to 32. He was leading off the other day at 2,700. He's up to 32. Great price tag. That's the guy to pair with your Donaldson, your Polanco, your Sano. Another cheap piece of the pie in Minnesota. Like that a lot. 3K and below now. Jesus Sanchez, 3K hitting cleanup for Miami versus Trevor Williams. Has some definite upside for you. Benintendi at 3K versus Plesac. If you're going all in on the Kansas City stack, that's an angle to go to. Brian De La Cruz in Miami at 29 for some value is in play. And then, just sliding on down, kind of looking at your stacks. Tetsugo's 2,700 if you're fading Gio. Yadiel Hernandez at 27 versus Moore. Probably doesn't get the start, but something to keep in mind. Derek Hill likely leading off for Detroit. 27 versus Irvin is a nice value if you're stacking Detroit. Brent Rooker, probably not going there. He's 27 versus Davies if you need to. But Andrew Vaughn at 26 is ridiculously too cheap on this slate. Some other guys, Jake Myers of Houston is only 26. Very, very cheap on this slate. He's another guy to keep an eye on as you're building your lineups. Other than that, though, there's going to be some hit and miss spot. DJ Peters rolled him out on Monday. He's 24 on Tuesday. He went deep on Monday. He's swinging it very well. He's a great piece of a stack. Oscar Mercado at 23 in your Cleveland stacks is an option. Brandon Marsh versus Tyon at 23. Jake Cave at 23. Tons and tons of value as you'd expect on this slate. So see the lineups, see what comes out to check it all out. Pitchers recap. Buehler, McCullers, Woodruff over 9K, all in play. All really good plays. Buehler's my top player on the entire slate. Cash games, tournaments, play him. Otherwise, McCullers, Woodruff, no problem. If you want to save some cash, Morton makes for a great tournament play at low ownership against the Dodgers at $8,900. Gio at 88 is going to be super popular. Great play, tournaments and cash. If I'm making a cash lineup, Buehler and Gio would be my 1-2 punch. When you're going cheaper, though, you got Blake Snell at 77. Like him in tournaments quite a bit. Skubal at 74 is a nice pivot off of Snell. Value-wise, Edward Cabrera at 64 versus the Mets. And if you're getting frisky, Jordan Lyles at 52. If you're stacking it up, there's a lot of stacks on this slate. You have Philadelphia versus Corbin. Great stack. Same with Washington versus Moore. I like the Washington side more because I think most go to Philadelphia versus Corbin. That's my look on it. But both very, very great stacks. Toronto versus Aiken. Love that one. As you go on, though, Detroit versus Oakland can be a little contrarian. If you want to go there, Tampa Bay versus Boston can be super low owned versus Richards and company. I think Texas versus Gomber is alive and well again. Their DJ Peters, your Solaks, your Nathaniel Lowe's, your Adolis Garcias, stuff like that. White Sox is one of my favorite stacks in the entire slate. Going up against Bryce Wilson, start with Lubob, Eloy, and move on from there. But start with Lubob. That's my number one. Kansas City versus Plesac could be a nice contrarian. Cleveland versus Minor. This could be a game stack type situation. But I like both of those. Chicago, Minnesota is one of my favorite game stacks, period. I think Minnesota's value in their stack is so crucial to the slate because it's actually good value. It's not like just throwing darts at a wall with like Detroit or Pittsburgh like we've done before. This is good value with Minnesota versus Zach Davies. So I like that one quite a bit. San Diego's always in play, but the Yankees versus Berea is very, very much in play. Ohtani could pitch, but if it is Berea, you go to the Yankees. And then other than that, I think I'm pretty much laying off the rest. Maybe Houston versus Kikuchi if you need it. But that'll do it, folks. Another slate in the books. If you have any questions, hit me up on Twitter at BDentric. Come join us in the Fantasy DGen Slack chat and check out RotoBaller.com. On Tuesdays, my free DraftKings article. If you want to be a premium member for the NFL season, you get DFS and season long all wrapped into one. All the tools, all the articles, all the good stuff and things. Right now, it's 50% off. But if you use promo code Bubba, you get an extra 10% off. So I recommend you check that out. Check out PrizePicks.com. Use promo code Bubba when you create your account there for a first-time deposit bonus up to $100. And most importantly, give a rate and review on iTunes for the podcast MLB DFS Quick Hits. But for now, everybody, I'll catch you guys tomorrow. This was MLB DFS Quick Hits, your Tuesday, August 31st edition. I'm out.